Welcome back to another father-son podcast. I'm here with Forrest, my son. We're going to do this. He's in the middle of a coughing fit, but we're probably going to get through this whole thing without him coughing too much. That annoying sound you hear is him sucking on a lozenge.
Cough drop. For the fans, so you can hear my coughing. So you can hear the cough drop instead of me coughing.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 20 questions. Forrest saw this in some kind of girly magazine.
I saw this from Vanity Fair where they did that interview with Billie Eilish like 3 years in a row. And I thought it'd be a pretty cool idea for the podcast just to see how much we change in like a year.
All right, sounds good. I will start first. My first question is, what is your name?
Forrest Dens.
All right. I hope that doesn't change next year. Your turn. You put your questions down.
You should ask all 20 at once. We'll take one big turn each.
Okay. How old are you?
13.
What is your pet's name?
Tripper.
What school are you attending?
City Honor School.
And the grade?
8th.
What is your favorite food?
My favorite food? Steak, medium rare. Maybe a little less than, but more than rare.
Got you. What is your favorite drink?
Dr. Pepper by far.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No.
Are you planning on marriage and a family?
I don't know. Maybe marriage. I'm not sure about a family.
If you have a kid, you can do podcasts with them. What are your career goals?
I want to do something that I want to do instead of just getting stuck doing something I don't want to do and thinking it'll be better because it gets more money.
What is more important to you, being successful financially or being happy?
I think being successful financially, because if I'm successful financially, I can, unfortunately, the way the world works now, I feel like if I'm financially successful, I can buy myself moments of happiness here and there and maintain financial success, which contradicts my last answer to your question. But that's
matter.
The way things are.
Right. Well, you're going to be your angsty teenage yourself. We're going to see how this evolves, or when I'm like 60 and you're like 15. What is the biggest problem in the world today?
Money.
Money is the biggest problem in the world for everybody?
Money is the seed of all our problems. If there was no money, which would also ruin the world simultaneously, but if we got rid of money, a lot of issues just between individuals even would be solved. Okay. Like people wouldn't owe each other money or anything, and I think without paper money, we'd be like a lot less fighty all the time.
Fighty. What is the biggest problem in your life? Besides for your cough.
Procrastination.
I like that answer. That's a good answer. That's
truthful answer.
Yeah, it's very truthful. What is your favorite video game?
Fire Emblem Awakening.
Okay. What do you spend the most of your free time doing?
Playing video games.
You think you'd spend more time doing that than YouTube? Watching YouTube on your computer?
Yeah. Sometimes I do them at the same time, so.
Gotcha. Question number 15. What is your favorite band or music if it's not a band?
Khalid, probably. There's pretty much like R&B.
Okay. You're going to have to help me with that because I don't really listen to music, so I'm a little bit lost.
It's like, some of his songs end up as pop music, but R&B is like jazz and hip hop.
Right, I know what R&B
together.
was. Yeah, I just wasn't sure.
Oh,
yeah,
you said you needed help.
He was more of a rapper or R&B. Like, I didn't know. I thought he was more of a rapper, but I don't really know anybody. So.
I didn't know how much help you need because you're kind of clueless when it comes to music.
I'm not that totally clueless. What is your favorite sport? Question number 16.
Favorite sport? I really like watching football, but I never want to play it. And I think my favorite sport to do probably be kickboxing. And for people who don't like punching people or violence, then track and field.
Well, it's your favorite. It's not their favorite. What is your favorite thing to do with me?
Play video games.
What is your favorite thing to do with Mom?
Watch shows. Like TV shows, especially like sad ones, because Mom is so emotional when she watches TV shows. And there are some pretty funny moments.
What is your favorite family activity?
Just some of our conversations. Like, sometimes we just have really good conversations in the car, and those are good. Because we don't pry into each other's lives. It's just like we have a really good conversation sometimes.
Number 20, last question. If you could change one thing about your life, what would it be?
Not being lazy. Because I feel like if I wasn't lazy, I feel like I could be what I always intend to be. And I feel like I would get the things that I intend to do done. So I feel like if there was a way to just stop being lazy, all the things that I ever wanted to be or wanted to do probably get done. Also, if there's no way to not be lazy, I think one thing I would change about my life is not being afraid to do things. Like, not being afraid to ask for things. I wouldn't want to be needy or anything, but for a while I just didn't ask for things. And now I'm getting better at just asking for stuff and trying not to pry and whine about it.
That's good. That's your 20 questions. You did a great job asking for your t-shirt. You did it in a very respectful manner. Maybe you could ask even a little bit earlier. Dad, there's 2 hours left. Can you buy this for me? I really want it.
The thing is, even then I was having this problem of, I feel like it's such a hassle for the person who's buying it for me.
Well, it kind of was a hassle because I was ready to go to bed and then I had to undo it. But if
I
you
know.
had asked me 3 hours earlier, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal.
The thing is, I felt like it was a hassle if I asked you 3 hours earlier. And
Yeah.
I think that's sort of a problem I have to resolve, is just stop being so afraid to ask for stuff, especially if you're going to pay for it, in that situation.
Yeah. All right, your turn.
Not you, I'm talking
Yeah,
to myself.
yeah,
if I was,
Yeah, I know what you meant.
Question
for
number
everyone
one.
that didn't know, Forrest wasn't asking for me to buy a t-shirt. He bought with his own money. So he's just asking me to purchase it for him. He's giving me money for it. So he's
Yeah.
not even asking me to buy it for him. Because
There's a-
that's going to come over
You
weird
have to-
for people that
You
are
have to-
listening.
You have to buy it online. So
Yeah.
you need a credit card, and I don't have a credit card.
Mhm.
So on things like that, I just ask dad or mom to buy it, and then I'll give them the money while they do the transaction. All right, what is your name?
My name is Emilio Montoyo, and you killed my father. Prepare to die. I'm Jeff Dennis.
What's the date?
Today is December 2nd, 2019, 8:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
You really need a camera because you had to look at your computer for the date.
I did not have to look at the computer for the day. I was looking for the time.
Okay. How old are you?
I am 26. 42.
How many subscribers do you have?
On what platform?
YouTube.
On YouTube, I have exactly... It's loading up really slow. I have 144 subscribers.
How many episodes of Caveman's Corner have you done?
We have done 96 full episodes with a few filler episodes that we don't count.
Okay. What's your most viewed podcast?
My most viewed podcast is Fred Edish.
The first one.
Oh, I've only done one with Fred Edish.
Yeah, the one.
Don't blow any secrets.
What's the most famous person you've interviewed?
Myself. I don't know. I've interviewed Pat Mix, who by the time people are listening to this when we redo it, may be the most famous person. We've done some UFC champions. We had Mark Coleman on. We had Dan Severn on. I don't know.
What is your most important podcast?
I would say that this podcast is probably the most important one I do to me. This is just a chance for us to sit down and talk. The most important Caveman's Corner I've had, if that's what you're asking, would probably be the ones I do about guys that do great things in the area, or when I'm really promoting people I want to see have a good event, or I want to get more popular.
What's the most important thing to you right now?
Right this very second? I don't know, probably you, since I'm in charge of taking care of you. So if you die, I'll be in a lot of trouble. So right now, you.
What's happening in the world right now?
China's trying to take over the world with Huawei. We're trying to figure out who killed Epstein. The aliens have not revealed themselves yet. Dinosaurs probably never existed. What else is going on today? Mom's out of town, so we're doing this podcast. There's unrest in the Middle East. Trump is president. I don't know. That's about all I can come up with offhand. That was a good question.
I stole that one from
I know.
Vanity Fair.
You probably stole all your questions from Vanity Fair.
What's been the worst part of your year?
The worst part of my year so far? I don't know. It's been a pretty stressful year, actually, personally. Life has been tough. With work, it's been a lot of hours working. I've had just a few days off this year. I had off the 4th of July, and then I had off Thanksgiving. And I've been working, trying to get the gym off the ground, doing the podcast, keeping the kids' class running, trying to balance some kind of work-home life while I'm working a full-time job with all that. So it's been difficult. Things have been a little bit strained at home with obviously all the work. So I need to find some kind of balance in life. And work has been at times extremely tough this year, negotiating a union contract and dealing with the shop.
What's the best part of your year been so far?
The best part of my year has been the same thing that makes it the worst part of my year, being able to do everything I do. I love fighting for the union rights at work. I love going to the gym every day and training. I love starting my own gym. I love running the kids' class. I love dealing with fighters. I love all the stuff that makes me so busy, and I love my family. So everything that makes it really tough is all of the same stuff that I love. So it's a kind of a weird dichotomy.
All right, so we're going to take a break from the heavy questions again for a little while until the end. What's your favorite movie?
I don't know, man. If it's a sick movie, I would have to say Princess Bride. If it's just any movie, man, it's a toss-up between Spaceballs, Monty Python, Search for the Holy Grail, and every one of the Rocky movies. And all the Star Wars movies. Well, some of the Star Wars movies.
What's your favorite book?
Fiction or nonfiction?
We'll do fiction first.
Fiction would probably be Angels and Demons by Dan Brown. It kind of made me really examine my religious life, as silly as that sounds.
What's your favorite nonfiction book?
Right now, my favorite nonfiction book is it's a toss-up. It's probably 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. I haven't actually finished that book yet, so I can't say if it is or not. But currently, that's one of my favorite books.
What's your favorite podcast?
My favorite podcast to listen to for recreational purposes is the Joe Rogan Experience, without a doubt. It talks about everything I'm interested in life, the science stuff I'm interested in, the fighting stuff I'm interested in, and usually the social commentary I'm interested in as well.
What's your favorite color right now?
Green.
All right, back to the heavy questions. Do you feel pressure?
As far as what?
Like, do you feel pressure to perform or do this or that?
I felt pressure before, and at times I feel pressured, but I don't think I really feel pressure to do anything that I do. As weird as that sounds, even fighting, I don't really feel that pressured. It's like it's an obligation almost. I feel like I have a lot of obligations, but I don't feel a lot of pressure. It's just something I do.
Yeah, that's good. What's your approach to podcasting?
So my ideal approach, or what I do?
Your ideal approach.
My ideal approach would be to do podcasts like this where we sit down, we have a topic. I would like to have podcasts where I do a lot of research first. I'd like to be able to play a character when I do a podcast too, to bring out the guest the most, because the idea is when you do a podcast, you want to get the topic out the best way possible. And usually I can do that by being a goofball, and sometimes I have to be serious. The way I do the podcast is usually we find out at the last minute who our guest is, and we do 10 minutes of research, and then we have the guest on, because we lose a guest and then we have to fill in.
Yeah.
So, actually, if we could, when we have scheduled guests, I feel like some of the podcasts are really good, and then sometimes they're awful. And when you do it like so, seat your pants, it's either hit or miss. It's either really good or it's terrible. There's not too many in between podcasts that we do, but the ones that we do, I feel are pretty good.
All right. So this next question wasn't very structured, very specific when I wrote it. So there's gonna be a lot of you asking me.
That's because Forrest did his questions right before he came up. Forrest crammed like 10 minutes before the podcast. I sat around all day and thinking of my questions.
How do you feel about MMA, like as a sport, as a whole? Like between professional sports and just how it works right now.
I think it's the most exciting sport in the world because anything can happen at any time. I mean, you can say that for every football game, but that's not exactly true. In MMA, man, anything can happen at any time. All you need to do is look at Matt Serra beating GSP, and damn, like that happens. The upsets happen all the time, and that's why they go in there in a cage and fight. I mean, every now and then, an upset happen in football. Upsets happen in MMA all the time. Right now, it's a super athletic sport. When I first started, I was interested in the fighting aspect of it, and I like to prove how tough I was. And nowadays, I'm into the real technical aspects of it, and I feel like I don't know if I've matured with the sport or I've matured because the sport's matured, but I feel like the sport's growth has been right in tune with my own growth as an athlete and a martial artist.
That wasn't exactly where I thought this question would go, but that's a good answer, and I like that answer. The question I really kind of wanted to see answered was, like, how do you feel about the whole business thing? Like, the professional, like, where do you think the sport is going, and how do you feel about where the sport is going at, like, the more shows side of it?
I think the amateur shows need a lot more support locally, but I mean, it's tough to get an amateur show because sometimes the fighters suck. I mean, they're going to tell you they suck too. That's why they're amateurs. They're learning not to suck. They're going to be good. They're eventually going to be good. I mean, the best fighters in the world start out and they suck. Suck doesn't mean that they can't fight. Suck just means they suck compared to the guys at UFC, right?
Yeah.
But when people pay $35, $40, they want to see UFC level guys, and they're going to see guys that they think suck. And the difference between what those guys in UFC do and what the amateurs do is just a few levels. So it's really tough to grow fighters without having an organization. There's no amateur MMA. There's no colleges doing it. So they have to grow through shows. So if you're into MMA, you should go to many local shows as you can and help support the sport's growth. As far as the professional side of it, I think that the fighters are... underpaid by some. The problem is that the really good fighters that draw in a lot of fans make about the money that they should, and the mid-tier guys don't make anywhere near what they should, and the low-tier guys definitely don't make what they should. So there needs to be a way to distribute the money more fairly among all the athletes. I really think they need a fighters union or more competition. Right now there's UFC, then there's Bellator and ONE, and UFC is way above them as far as what people are watching and the money that's involved in the sport itself. So unless there's more competition to make the fighters get paid more, I think the fighters need to unionize and make some kind of union so that the problem is that the rich aren't going to get richer. So there's not a lot of incentive for the big name guys to unionize because they're already making all the money. Why would they want to give up money? So it's going to be really tough to happen. So what I think is going to happen is it's just going to be like the world itself is going right now. I don't think they're ever going to unionize because they're never going to be able to get enough people together. So unless there's more competition, I think it's going to remain about the same. It's going to be like boxing eventually. There's just going to be a lot of divisions and a lot of guys that you never see fight each other because of politics. Because once the big name guys start making money, they're not going to want to fight each other. And that's where we're getting to right now. Right now, they have Dana White taking care of all that. But Dana's not going to be around forever. And then good luck reining it in without Dana.
All right, last question for
right.
me. Where do you see yourself being next year? Like with some of these questions, maybe even like where do you see yourself next year?
Next year, I imagine everything will be about the same, to be honest with you. I'm in that 3-year plan with Dr. Kroll, so I don't see anything changing for the next 3 years. It's going to be a busy 3 years. I'm going to be grinding, making a base, and by the end of next year, we should know where we're going to go with everything. So I think next year is going to be like the year that everything starts to change. So we'll see. I don't know. I just picture stuff getting better. I mean, making more money, working harder, getting more grind in. That's all I can do.
2020 is a big year. It's a new decade next year.
Yeah, and vote for K-Man for president. If I'm the president, dude, things will change a lot in my life.
You'll be set money-wise for life, probably.
Yeah, for sure. I have great insurance. Vote
Much
for
better
K-Man.
insurance than you have now.
I promise to suck less. Whoever the Democrats put up in Trump, I'll suck less than either one of them. Vote for me. I'll be blatantly honest when someone pays me off. I'll be like, yes, this group gave me lots of money, and I'm going to do whatever they want. Just so you know. And aliens exist, and I'm going to show and tell everyone who killed JFK.
You're going to put even more money into that alien program?
No, I'm just going to tell everything that they found. I'm going to tell them all about the aliens, and then I'm going to tell who killed JFK and whether the plane really crashed into the Pentagon at 9/11, and like everything everyone wants to know.
Yeah.
So vote for me. I'll tell you all the secrets. I'll be the snitch. Anything else?
No,
That's a long
that's my
podcast,
last
man.
question.
That's like almost 24 minutes.
Good. That's about the length of the last one, which was 3 years for one person. So
Yeah.
3 years for us is going to be like long podcast.
Yeah, really. Well, we'll probably ask different questions every year too.
Yeah, and we can keep some of the questions and like reflect on different years too.
Yeah, we'll have to listen. What we should do is we should listen to it together before we do it, and write the questions down, and then add a couple more. Every year we should add one more question.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So next year we'll do 21 questions.
21 questions.
All right, man. I love you.
A lot less even.
Yeah, I love you. I'll see you soon.
See you very soon.
Yeah. Well, not really, because you're gonna do your homework. So I'll see you when
My
you're done with your
homework
homework.
is not that long today.
That's what you say every time, and it takes like 6 hours.
That is
Don't
true.
procrastinate. Get it done.
We just talked about not procrastinating.
Yeah.
I'll try my best.
You're not gonna procrastinate. You're gonna get your homework done. You're gonna get in the shower, and then we are going to watch some Shield, because we're watching Shield right now on Netflix. All right.
Disney Plus if we don't hurry up.
Yeah, Disney Plus if we don't hurry up. All right, guys. Catch you soon. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe if you know people that like kids.
Yeah, if you like kids say the darndest things, then this is the podcast for you.
Yeah, if people like kids, it's probably not the podcast to listen to. But if you need to know how
I'm a kid though.
I know.
And
Yeah,
you're kind of a kid though.
Yeah. This is a parenting podcast. This is how you should parent your kids so they turn out like Forrest.
Yeah.
Yes. Ha! So if you know any parents that need some instruction, have them listen to this. Maybe. I'm probably not the ideal parent to listen to, though. Although you turned out pretty good. So far.
I try.
It's not over yet. You could still turn into a flaming wreck. So you better keep your nose straight or I'll punch it out.
I really hope I don't turn into a flaming wreck.
Yeah, me too.
That'd be kind of a disappointment.
Well, it's good that you don't like drugs or alcohol, so that's good.
No. Alcohol is literally just like... It's like... If it's not wine, it's like instead of extracting from grapes, it tastes like they extracted it from like expo markers.
It smells like it. All right, let's call someone here. And
Yeah, it's getting a little wild.
yeah, you're getting wild. You're getting out of control. Ray's bad influence is rubbing off on you right now. All right, I'm not gonna let you hang out with Ray anymore. All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Love you, man.
Good podcast.
Yep. Bye bye.